Hi guys, today I want to talk about something very near and dear to my heart, which is all about the art of keeping a journal or a visual diary. I have put together the ultimate guide for you if this is something you want to get into, or if you're already into this, hopefully this will give you some inspiration to keep going. We're going to talk about supplies you might need, topic ideas, visual inspiration, and a little bit of a hands-on how to journal with me tutorial. First, I want to let you guys know that I did start a Patreon, which I am super excited about. I will be posting bonus YouTube videos over there with a more long-form, casual, just like hangout vibe kind of content. I'm going to be posting like Q&As, book reviews, cooking videos, literally whatever I want and so much more. I will also be posting more of my writing and my poetry and more like behind the scenes kinds of pictures over there as well. It'll be a little bit more of like personal content that I just want to share with like a smaller, more niche audience. It is $5 a month, and with that you will get access to everything. I really want to make it worth it for you guys, so I'm gonna be committed to posting at least 2 bonus YouTube videos a month, as well as everything else that I post on there. I'm still gonna be posting my regular content here on YouTube and Instagram and everywhere else. Nothing about that will change. This will just be bonus videos, behind the scenes kind of stuff, you know? I actually already have a bonus video up there right now that I just posted, which is a video of me making soup, watching Gilmore Girls, and talking about my upcoming travels to the English countryside. My Patreon will be linked down below if you want to join. Thank you so much to everyone that joins. I literally appreciate it so much, and hopefully the Patreon will make this become a more sustainable long-term thing for me. Okay, so this is my visual diary. We will get so into this in just a moment. But first, what is a visual diary? Let's lay the landscape. A visual diary or a visual journal is much like a regular diary or a journal, but it combines this beautiful, artful visual landscape along with it. Think of it as a mixture between your journal and your scrapbook. It can include anything from your writing to your poetry to personal essays, along with pictures, movie tickets, postcards, basically anything you can think of, you can put in a visual diary. It should feel like a beautiful landscape of the tintinnabulum of things that are going on inside your head. Number 2, why keep a visual diary? Why, you might ask, Romney, why? Writing is a beautiful thing. It's this way of freeing your own mind from its personal burdens. And combining this visual element, I think, is like the perfect way to document your life. Yes, we have social media for this, but I think there's something so beautiful and something so special about having a physical copy of your life and your documented experiences. It's also a very therapeutic art form when you can take something that's like in your mind that you're feeling and put it onto paper. This magical thing happens inside of you where once you can take it out of yourself, it creates room in your psyche for more, and ultimately it can grant you like this peace of mind in a way. So the first step is a little list of what you might need for this kind of project. I recommend looking around your house first, but whatever you can find, take a little trip to the craft store, a little Michael's, a little Hobby Lobby moment. You can also find a lot of crafty things in antique stores and thrift stores, so definitely look there as well. You will need a journal, of course. You can just buy a plain one and then decorate the cover, as I have done, or you can just find one of a cover you already like. Doesn't matter, whatever you want to do is fine. However, a little tip, I do recommend looking for a journal that has thick cardstock-like papers. As you are going to be gluing things down, maybe using tape, it's going to weigh down the pages a little bit, so it's a little bit easier to work with if you have a little bit of a thicker page. You're going to need pictures, your own pictures, any kind of pictures, construction paper, magazine and newspaper clippings, stickers, random tickets, postcards, letters, memorabilia of any kind, envelopes or letters from people, or letters that you never sent to people. You might want a printer. This might make your life a little bit easier, but not needed. A photo printer is great, but you can always take your pictures to like a CVS or Walgreens and get them printed. Another little extra thing is a Polaroid camera. I actually use my Fuji film camera for a lot of the photography within my visual diary that you'll see. I just really like the way the Polaroids look, and it's kind of something that has visually added to my personal journaling style a lot. You will need Mod Podge, glue, tape, basically anything that can stick one thing to another. And other than that, you can use whatever you want. You can use ribbons to make cute little borders, maybe fabric, pressed flowers. You can use your own art, your own little doodles, your own little drawings, whatever you want to use can work. Step 2 is create a space of some sort. I actually made a crafts corner in my room where I keep all my stuff, which I have been loving, and it's just like I'm kind of allowing it to just be a mess. If you don't have a dedicated workspace, that's totally fine. It's not needed. at all, but I do recommend just like keeping everything in a box of some sort just so you have everything consolidated in one place. Now actually getting started. I personally recommend starting with your writing. This is my personal process, however, like there are literally no rules. I like to start with the writing, with the diary entry, with the poetry, whatever it is that I'm writing, and then create the visual world on top of that. I feel like once I can like put my thoughts into words, everything else becomes more clear after that. So I actually started doing most of my writing on my computer and then printing it out on my printer because I have terrible handwriting. I don't know if you guys know this about me, but it's really bad and it's embarrassing. I'm very embarrassed about it and I don't like the way it looks. Maybe I should take a handwriting class or something. If you have beautiful handwriting, I recommend using your own handwriting because I think that looks beautiful. It really adds to that personal, more crafty element to it. Personally, I've been typing my stuff out and printing it out on the computer and including it into my pages. After I have written words down, this is when I can actually get creative with how I want to visually present the page or the pages. I love to start with some construction paper to make some cute borders. My mom used to always do this in our childhood scrapbook, so it always reminded me of that. I also love decorating with pictures. I have a Fujifilm camera that prints out instant film Polaroids, so I love adding those, especially when they coincide with what I'm talking about in my writing. The visual world that I'm creating right now is from my trip to Paris, Texas. It was a trip where I really connected with animals and nature, so I really wanted to capture that in these pages. After I have words, pictures, papers down, that's when I add anything else that I like. Stickers, memorabilia, kiss marks. I love adding on these elements, but I do find that less is more in most cases, and I can always add on more later on if I want to. Once you've been journaling or keeping a diary for a while, you really start to find your own personal writing style as well as your own personal art style within your journal, which is one of the really fun and exciting parts. So I recommend just starting and seeing what you like, seeing what it is that you're gravitating towards, and with that, with time, you kind of develop your own little personal style and you just have something that feels like so you. I think so much reflection and discovery can happen here. It is why we write, it's why we create. It's a way of translating what's happening inside of your head onto paper, and in that you can find a way to understand yourself more and be a better person, honestly. I really don't even know how I feel about a single thing until I write about it. So I want to give some ideas of like things you could write about or page inspirations that I think might be good for beginners. The first one is to make a summer bucket list. This is super easy and fun to do. You can get really creative with it, and it's also kind of something that could inspire you in your life. Obviously, if it's not summer when you're watching this, you could do this with any season, as well as a summer reading list or autumn reading list, whatever season you're watching this in. Write down all the books that you want to read. Another idea is you could write down your favorite inspirational quote and then create a visual world around that with different pictures and magazine clippings and just stuff that inspires you. I think this would be really good for like a good first page in a diary. You could make little monthly favorites lists. Like I always do like my spring favorites, my autumn favorites, my summer favorites videos, and you could do that in like a diary entry. Just fill it with like your favorite music that you've been listening to, books, food, art you've been consuming, clothing you've been loving, like whatever it is, write it down so you remember it. And then you could just include some pictures or doodles of the things. You could write down some of your favorite food recipes. That would be a fun one. I need to do this. I think a fun idea would be like write down your favorite comfort meal or your favorite comfort meal recipe. And then along with that, next to it, you can write the recipe for a comfort day, the ingredients to reboot or have a mental health day. Example could be like curl up with a good book, go on a walk, watch the sunset, call a friend, etc., etc., and list it out as you would like the ingredients list for the food. Write about a trip or an experience that you had and keep all of like the little memorabilia from the trip and glue it onto the page. Travel diaries are my absolute favorite ones to create. This is my diary from high school. I'm not sure if I've showed you guys this yet, but it's so cute. I kept it from freshman year all the way until senior year. There's this one page that really stuck out to me that I think is so cute. I was in color guard in high school. It was like my entire world, and I wrote about my first experience going to WGI World Championships, and I wrote about performing in finals for the first time, and I have like my finals tickets and my wristbands and like the airplane ticket we took to get there, and I just love that I like kept all of those things and like created this page out of it. I will literally not only remember what it looked like, but how it felt when I was there. You could write a diary entry of the last book or movie you watched. As I said before, I like have kept a diary most of my life. I kept it all the way through high school. However, I went through a few years where I was not writing in my diary, like in my early 20s. The thing that got me back into it was I watched the Barbie movie last summer, and I came home and instantly started writing in my diary again, and that was like the catalyst that pushed me out. So I did a diary entry about the Barbie movie. You can write how it affected you, put the movie stub in the corner, and you can really make it cute and personalized. Write about your goals, your loves, your passions. It will make you remember them more. You could write a poem and then create a visual world outside of that. Even if you've never written a poem before, even if you don't consider yourself a poet, or if you think you're bad at writing poems, poetry is for everyone. It doesn't have to be good, it just has to be you. Another idea is you could write a letter to your future self and then put it in an envelope and then tape it onto a page in your diary. Another idea is think of your next milestone age. I just had one, 25. My next one will be 30. So you could think about maybe 5 things you want to do, accomplish, see, or be before then. You could make a mood board, a visual mood board in your diary of what you want your life to look like. You could maybe take like a Pinterest board kind of idea and like print pictures off of Pinterest and glue them into your diary. I'm very like inspired by like the visual representations of things. So even if you don't want to like write about it, you could just like put the pictures on a page and make it look really pretty like a Pinterest board. Yeah, those are my ideas. Hopefully that kind of helps you starting out with some inspiration. Of course, you can just do like regular diary entries, but sometimes it's fun to have like a little bit of a topic. And remember, it's a craft. It's not that deep. I mean, it can be very deep, but it does not have to be perfect, okay? So don't put too much pressure on making it perfect. Sometimes the beauty is in the imperfections, and the magical thing is just that you did it in the first place. Don't get hung up on the little details. That's kind of something I'm trying to do, is like not strive for perfection, just like make it me, you know? So that's my guide. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. I'd love to see your journaling pictures. I'm going to be posting more pictures on my Patreon and stuff, so that's going to be linked down below if you want to check that out. Follow me on Instagram, Pinterest, and TikTok. All of that will be linked down below. Subscribe to the channel if you are not already. I would love to have you here. Yeah. Thank you guys so much. I love you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day or night whenever you're watching this, and I will see you in the next one. I don't know why I touched my face. Bye!